Hey everyone, it's Xant. Hopefully the holidays were good to you and granted some time to unwind. Thankfully, we're back to a standard week, with no surprises. And in case you forgot the update from December, all standard pool Gunpla get added to the 4-star pick ticket pool 4 weeks after going out of rotation instead of immediately. So if you want these parts, you're either going to want to roll kinda on this banner or you wait a month. Now this week is a bit of an odd duck, as there's only one standard suit being added instead of 2, but the one we get is pretty slick. The Estrella Type F, an upgraded Estrella, which, in case you forgot, we obtained mid-November as an event suit, joins us from 00F. Originally a Generation 2 Gundam, Estrella received significant performance boosts that put it on par with 3rd generation Gundams, while also featuring a removable sensor mask. It hides the Gundam face beneath it. With it on, the Type F looks pretty standard, and this was done on purpose since the only active Gundams were supposed to be the ones on the Ptolemy. It even goes so far as to restrict GN particle output to mask its signature as a Gundam. The F in its name, by the by, is because the overhauls were done by Celestial Being Support Team, Fereshte, thus Type F. I probably butchered the pronunciation, but it is Persian in nature. The variant that's being added is the full weapon loadout, so we're going to get a lot of firepower from this thing. Now to count the weapons, it comes with 2 GN beam sabers, 2 GN Vulcans mounted into the wrists, 1 GN beam rifle, 1 GN shield, a Proto-GN sword, and this is where we stop the standard loadout of the Estrella. The new stuff added to the Type F includes the GN hammer and the NGN bazooka. It stands for non-GN bazooka. It can fire projectiles that disrupt GN particles, and can even fire off GN beams with the right payload. But why name it non-GN if you're going to make it able to fire GN anyways? And that's kind of a weird choice. Anyways, the Type F also has access to prototype weapon variants of the 3 other Gundams from 00, excluding Exia, such as the prototype of Virtue's GN launcher, a prototype of the Dynamis's GN beam pistols, and the GN hand missiles from the Curios. Beyond those, it has the previously mentioned sensor mask, which makes the banner image look like it's not a Gundam, but more importantly than being a fashion accessory, it also improves the sensor performance of the suit, if the name somehow didn't give that away. Now our welfare this week is the not Thunderbolt version of the full armor Gundam, coming from Mobile Suit Variation. Now this suit was based off the original Gundam, adding armor and weapons in an attempt to improve the machine's performance on the battlefield. Unfortunately, the full armor Gundam was deemed a failure when simulations showed that the addition of the armor made it too heavy, to the point the thrusters couldn't compensate, and its mobility was effectively crippled. However, not all was lost, as the research was rolled into an optional pack that was being developed for the Gundam, named the Full Armor System, and it did eventually lead to the creation of the Heavy Gundam. Smooth recovery. As for weapons, it has a Vulcan turret on the shoulder, a rocket launcher attached to the backpack, 4 missile launchers, there's 1 in each knee and 2 in the torso, 1 twin beam rifle mounted to the forearm, 1 small shield mounted to the other forearm and actually can have spare barrels for the twin beam rifle attached, and 2 beam sabers, unfortunately the non-rechargeable kind. Considering the original Gundam only had the Vulcans baked in and the rest were additional equipment, I'd say this would have been a pretty solid upgrade, had it not colossally failed. Now on to the pilots. We'll start with Ridden Marcinus, coming from Gundam Unicorn and pilot of the Banshee Norn and Delta Plus. Most notably, anyways, he piloted quite a few suits for Londo Bell. He originally joined Londo Bell to escape his family, trusting in the Earth Federation he knew was corrupt. I don't know if that was the best choice, but anyways, he grew to hate Gundams and new types after his one-sided crush on Minerva Zabi ended in not only rejection due to differing beliefs in how humanity should proceed, but also stolen by Banagher Lynx, who happened to be a new type and pilot of a Gundam. I guess we'll ignore how Ridden also matches that criteria, but I'm going off topic. He was manipulated and given the Banshee Gundam to prevent Laplace's box from being opened, his newfound hatred and rage helping fuel his bad decisions. But after killing Marita Cruz, he snapped out of his teenage angst, cleaned up his act, and aided Banagher in protecting Laplace's box. He is a competent pilot, for sure, being able to fight full frontal and even Marita, killing the latter. Granted, it was with the Banshee, but Anyways, I wonder how many variants we're actually going to get of this guy, as the one we have now is clearly pre-Banshee. Now, our last pilot and final addition this week is Karta Issue, one of the few honorable Gallarhorn commanders that isn't out to stage a coup or skim a bit off the top. Confident to a fault, she insists on honorable combat to improve the standing of her house, nobility and all that. She had 4 run-ins total with Tekadon, which, in order, Tekadon escaped, Tekadon thrashed her and her entourage, Karta killed Biscuit, Mikazuki solo killed her entourage and then fatally wounded Karta. Yeah, it's a neat list. Her death was actually her code of honor backfiring, as she demanded an honorable duel between her and the Barbados, to which Mikazuki ignored and just went on a killing spree to avenge Biscuit. I don't know what possessed her to think Mika would know how to duel nobility, human debris and all that. Anyways, with that, this week's content is done and wrapped up. I'll see you guys in a couple of days for the impression stream. Peace out until then.